Hey everyone, it's Stori here, and this is RP Weekly. So welcome to episode 25. Where did the last 24 episodes go? And by that I mean, where did the last 24 weeks go? For this week, we're going to jump right in with... So this week, Tasks Weekly, I have two tasks to share with you. The first one is number 15 was Indigenous Peoples of America, and number 16, I can do math, number 16 was Age Diversity, meeting face claims above the age of 40. And similarly, what I do with Tasks Weekly, I'm going to do it with Drabbles Weekly, and that is that their first ever tasks, oh, that's going to get confusing, their first ever themed Drabble event is First Contact. So first up, I have talk shows, and by that I mean like competing talk shows, whether it's a comedy one like, you know, with John Oliver, or if it's a serious one like a news channel. I think it'd be a really cool environment to put characters into and see what happens. So I'm going to give talk shows two corgis. The Sims. I know there's been group role plays before actually about The Sims, and I know technically role playing itself is basically like The Sims, where we put characters in environments and control them. There's so much possibility, and I wonder if that's really where like the idea for like label RPs came from. I wonder. But before we contemplate the beginnings of role playing, The Sims I'm going to give 3 corgis to. So this next one I found on my ponderings as a writer, and I thought about publishing houses. I know that there's role plays for, you know, entertainment businesses, but publishing houses are a kind of cool concept to think about, because you can have characters that are writers, you can have characters that work there that want to be writers. So it's kind of, you can work with a lot of different characters. You can even have it set in a specific town and make it kind of like a plotless town RP. I mean, there's possibilities are kind of endless with this one, especially with the climate of publishing and dealing with the conflict of digital publishing versus digital and self-publishing versus going through an agency. So for publishing houses, I will give it 3 corgis. Futuristic, space, soulmates. That was a lot of stuff in one category, but I think it would be really cool if you combined the idea of soulmates, like a soulmate roleplay, but throw it into a futuristic era where it's in space maybe, but so it gives you more room in terms of how the soulmate AU part would fit into it, instead of, you know, like essentially, you know, the soulmate tattoo AU's prompt stuffs, think that, but like you could make it futuristic. I'm really feeling with the English part here. So for futuristic space soulmates, I will give it 4 corgis. And finally for RP wishlist, I have space coffee shop. I actually wrote a Drabble thing like a really long time ago, well, not really long time ago, a few months ago, and it was such a fun thing to write, because you were taking something that, when you think coffee house, you think warmth and comfort, but if you put it into a space like, if you put it into a place like space, where there's futuristic type stuff, which is you consider metal and hard, you put those two together and you can create something really cool. Honestly, would love to see what antics could happen in a coffee shop that's in space. So for this one, I will give it 5 corgis. So this week I have Trevor Jackson, who is a singer, actor, and dancer. The second one, I don't know how to pronounce this, and I don't really want to try, but he's there. You see the name. Feel free to read however you want. I'm not going to butcher that. I have some dignity left in me. But this week's game is part of the Thai group music groups NCT and NCTU. So first up for this week, I have Wolves Reign RP. It's going to be a mouthful. It is an all-male alpha, beta, omega original werewolf roleplay. It's an app-less roleplay that's set in Rune City, and humans are beginning to find out about werewolves, and the law is beginning to crack down with restrictions and regulations for them. I Kissed a Girl RP, and this is set at a converted private school in New York City, and the residents are part of this show that's hosted by MTV and Katy Perry called I Kissed a Girl. So obviously all the characters are female, or female identifying. There's no privacy whatsoever because it's a reality show where everything they do is filmed, and their goal is to find love. Pitch Black RP. And this one is a horror roleplay where a group of, I believe, 12 friends wake up where they did not fall asleep. They kind of were waiting around for daylight to come, but it doesn't come, and suddenly something is chasing them. You have to survive. Survival horror roleplay. Married HQ. This is a semi-apless roleplay. It is based off of the TV show Married at First Sight. Brookhaven Park RP. And this is a plotless apartment roleplay. It's set in Atlanta, Georgia. And they're actually all original characters, so you apply with the characters. Trapped and Afraid. This is a 5x5 apless roleplay. It is set at a school when a chemical spill releases this zombie virus. And so now they have to survive and figure out what to do. Wild Rebellion. This is a Game of Thrones roleplay. It is all skeleton characters, and they will be doing a revamp soon, but they are open right now for applications. Williamsburg HQ. This is an apless roleplay that is set in Williamsburg, Virginia in 1774, just before the American Revolution. Live Like Legends roleplay. This is actually a dystopian AU of Marauders era roleplay. It's actually what happens if Voldemort wins the first war. They actually are going to have their second event coming up soon, as well as more character teasers. They have an amazing plotline, and I was really excited to look through all the characters and see all the fates of the characters and see what they're doing there. So check all of these blogs out, as always, linked below in the description, and we're going to move on to indie blogs. First up, I have Lady Malfoy. They are a Narcissa Malfoy RP blog. They are multiverse and multi-ship. Scarlet Speedster, and they are a selective Barry Allen / The Flash RPer. And finally, for notable blogs this week, I have Porcelain Foxes, and they are a multi-muse and multi-ship role player. So the goodie bag this week has Tasks weekly posts. It has Drabbles weekly post as well. There is an Ava Green blonde hair gift hunt. There's character labels as fonts post. There's a master list of high school aged, or face claims that could pass as high school aged characters. There's a fic rec page which you can turn into a character page because it has filters. There are gift hunts for the favorite faces this week. As always, if you have any recommendations, please feel free to send them in, whether it's via email or Facebook or Twitter or Tumblr. I think that's all we have. I lose track. And really quickly, I'm going to plug my own roleplay in here. I guess we could kind of count it as a post-notable blog, kind of. But I opened my own roleplay. It is Burlington RP. It is a semi-apless university roleplay, plotless. OCs are welcome. Anyone's welcome. Come at me, bro. Or lady. Or person. Anyone. So have a great beginning of week, end of week, whatever time zone you're in. My name is Stori, and I will see you next week on RP Weekly.